and today we're going to be having a little look at the ECCE speaking exam. So for those people out there preparing for your ECCE, or maybe you're thinking about doing it, this is a very good video for you to watch, because what we're going to be doing is running through all the parts of the speaking exam. So let's have a look at some of the facts, shall we? There are 4 stages to this speaking exam. The exam is about 15 minutes long, which is fairly standard for these type of exams, really. Now what changes in this exam is, unlike maybe the FC exam, you go in by yourself. So there's only one candidate and there's also one examiner in the room, which some people will prefer, I think, to be honest. Now, as I said, there are 4 stages. Each of them will last between 3 and 4 minutes. And you will receive a mark, A to E. Obviously, A is, ooh, you're doing really well, and E, ooh, not so much. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these parts of the test. Part 1. This is where the examiner will ask you, things like, what do you do in your free time? What do you like about the place where you live? Any of these types of things. So it's fairly standard, really, and it could be, as I said, a wide variety of topics, and there's going to be another video coming which will allow you to look at this part in detail and also get some tips. So let's move on to part 2, okay? And this is where the fun really begins. In part 2, you're going to be given a prompt card or a piece of paper with a couple of pictures on it and a problem or a situation. The examiner is going to say to you something like this: I am your friend and I have a problem. Find out what my problem is and offer me some advice. And this is the strange thing about this exam. You, in this part of the test, you are actually asking the examiner questions, which is quite bizarre, really, if you think about it, but it works. So let's have a look. So something like this. On your prompt, you're going to have maybe a picture of a person and like these 2 pictures. So you'll be able to see there's a watch and a camera, and there's some kind of problem here. So perhaps the examiner or your friend wants to buy a present for someone and he doesn't know what to get, or he doesn't know what to ask his parents for Christmas. Something like that. It's going to be something fairly straightforward. And what you're going to have is some prompts, like here in the yellow, and it's going to say, look at the pictures and ask, what is the problem? And the examiner will tell you. Then you're going to say, what are the options? And the examiner is going to give you the options, and you're already going to be able to see these kind of options because of the pictures. And then, what are the advantages of each option? And sometimes they may say, what are the advantages and disadvantages of each option? So that's what you're doing in part 2 of the test. In part 3, it's still related to this situation. Okay, so after the examiner has answered your questions, he will say, so what do you think I should do? And this is where you have got to use all the things that you heard the examiner say and answer to your questions, and give the examiner some advice about what you think he should do. So in this particular case, should he buy the watch or should he buy the camera? What are the advantages of each one? And then part 4 is extended questions about the topic. So here, if you saw it was a watch and a camera, they'd probably ask you more questions about technology. So usually they're kind of related in some way. If your pictures are to do with sport, then your extended questions will be to do with sport. And these questions are aimed at pushing your level. So they're slightly more difficult questions, or at least questions that you can speak, at length about for a long time. So let's have a look at some kind of examples. How important is technology in your life? What problems does technology cause? What technological developments will there be in the next 20 years? So you see, they ask you some challenging things that you can talk for a long time about. And that's that. They are the 4 parts of the exam. I hope this has been useful, and stay tuned, because as I said, the next videos are going to be giving you tips on how to improve your marks or how to pass these sections of the exam. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.